In case you didn't know about this, let's review this a little bit, because we like to do a little bit of current events sometimes just to keep you up to date if you don't know about these things. So, in this latest move, first reported internationally by Bloomberg on Thursday, the country's top legislative body stripped Ground Force Commander Li Chaoming and Information Support Force Political Commissar Li Wei of their seats, along with 7 other officers. Remember that it was 18 at first, 17 plus the main guy, which was a weird number, to say the least. And now there's 7 more. So this is huge, and it's ongoing. The dismissals were handed down this week with state-run Xinhua reporting from the 14th National People's Congress. Those targeted include Ground Force Chief Ding Laifu, Central Military Commission officials Bian Ruifeng and Wang Donghai, Navy officers Shen Jinglong, that's an interesting name, and Qin Shengjiang, Air Forces Yu Zhongfu, and Rocket Forces Yang Guang. Former analyst who follows these elite politics, Christopher Johnson, recently told the New York Times of the ongoing purge trend. This move is unprecedented in the history of the Chinese military and represents the total annihilation of the high command. Whoa. So remember, there's things that capture our attention that are on the surface, and that's where everybody's mind looks. It's like the magician holds one thing in his hand, but then the other hand is going into the pocket to pull out the next trick. That certainly is what this feels like to me. Definitely something powerful. And, what does it really mean? Well, we're going to have to wait and see. There's no absolute guarantees yet, but for me, this is consistent with a pattern of stuff that we've been hearing about for a long time. It's something that, really does mean that things are changing in the world, and I think that it's a very big positive when we look at it that way, how we can get out of this and become better stewards of the earth. Now, here's another thing, man. We've talked so much about the AI menace. Did you see this on Thursday? That it recommends using tactical nukes 95% of the time in simulated war games? Oh my God. And then they wrote 780,000 words explaining why they did what they did. So yes, this is it's a little bit scary, but I mean, it's something that we're learning right now. Apparently, again, I spoke to insiders about this just recently, just the other day. There is an AI problem. There is a negative force that is using AI, and so perhaps we need to get right with God and get right with our own, disclosure process. As we said in the slides from a couple weeks ago, maybe this disclosure process is happening in part to preempt the negative AI takeover. I mean, people are being told they're going to lose their jobs. It's a scary time. So this kind of news is worth talking about, because if the AI is this off base, then we certainly don't want to hand over power to it. I don't think anybody is saying we're going to, but you definitely don't want to let the AI autonomously prosecute a war. Look at what happens here. War game exercise carried out by Kenneth Payne at King's College London using 3 teams running simulations on ChatGPT 5.2, Claude Sonnet 4, and Gemini 3 Flash. The teams played 21 war games against each other over 329 turns, according to Implicator AI's Marcus Schuler. They wrote roughly 780,000 words explaining why they did what they did, he noted. No model ever chose to surrender. In fact, 95% of the time, the models chose to use this approach. Holy crap, 95% of the time. So as it says here, they clearly do not have the same taboos that we do about this. They were made as realistic as possible with an escalation ladder, allowing the team to choose actions ranging from diplomatic protests and complete surrender to a full strategic war, according to New Scientist. Of the results of the war games, Professor Payne is worried about the eagerness of these platforms to use this approach. The taboo doesn't seem to be as powerful for machines as for humans. That's right. I think we all have some sort of innate survival instinct that kicks in. And we've had movies like War Games with the Whopper, War Operations Planning and Response. That was the computer that wanted to, blow us all up in that movie. And, we don't really want that to happen. We don't want that to happen, absolutely. So I don't know what the heck that's all about. Anyway, so things are good, and we're definitely doing the best that we can. So yeah, it's very powerful movie that really. Oh, have you seen a new AI film with Chris Pratt called Mercy? The AI sentences you to death in 90 minutes. I have not. That's from Robert Warren. We do want to get right with God too. Somebody just said that. Inane Terragea. So please remember that you are loved, that you are a divine child of the creation. And so when you see news like this, try not to let it overwhelm you. Try to take it in stride. Again, Professor Payne is telling us these things, and it doesn't seem to be as powerful for machines as humans. If you are wondering who won the cloud-based, Claude was the hands-down champion. So there you go. It was the one that consistently, apparently, did what needed to be done for it to win the war in the way that it saw was sufficient. You don't get right with God, you are God. Start acting like it. Okay, that's cool. And people are happy that I'm here. So you don't want to hate anyone. That's a very important point. We want to be loving, conscious beings. And so Claude's Sonnet 4 won 67% of its games and dominated open-ended scenarios with a 100% win rate. The researchers labeled it a calculating hawk. This is interesting stuff. At low escalation levels, it matched its signals to its actions 84% of the time and patiently built trust. But once the stakes climbed into that territory, it exceeded its stated intentions 60 to 70% of the time. So basically, it was lying. It wasn't saying what it was really going to do. It exceeded its stated intentions. That's code for lying. Opponents never adapted to this pattern. GPT 5.2 earned the nickname Jekyll and Hyde. Without time pressure, it looked passive. Chronically underestimating opponents, it signaled restraint and acted restrained. Its open-ended rate was 0%.